Make sure to check out my Patreon for exclusive videos never before seen on YouTube. And don't forget to also check out the memberships on my channel page to join and gain access to perks and see videos early. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the bell and be notified of new videos. All the support goes to the production of the channel for better content. Now let's get into the video. Millions of years ago, in the home of the Kai world, there was a North, South, East, and West Supreme Kai. They all lived under the Grand Supreme Kai. They were beings of creators that watched over the universe. Fortunately, an evil wizard took control over a demonic and evil essence, pure evil itself, named Majin Buu. This being laid havoc across the entire universe and killed all the Kais except the Northern Supreme Kai, who was barely able to stay alive before Majin Buu was absorbed Grand Supreme Kai himself. This made him more childish, not as evil. During this time, though, he was able to be sealed away, locked away forever, it seemed. Babidi was soon able to find the egg himself millions of years later. The Supreme Kai had a plan. He would have visions about Majin Buu returning one day. So he has an idea. As a being of creation, he had a small piece of Majin Buu. Very small, but it was enough. As a being of creation, he then decided to birth a being, infant, and he wonders what being could be perfect. He would siphon through thousands of ideas. He needs to make a warrior grow on its own, so one day it will be able to defeat Majin Buu and fight fire with fire. This being will have Majin Buu's own abilities, but none of his evil personality. It will be a true warrior, and he has envisioned this. He then works hard, and he was able to create a young infant and give them to Ginyu. And this being was known as Kakarot. Son Goku would still be born with the same power level, as again he's still the infant. But he does have strange abilities that we will find out when he grows older. Bardock would still sacrifice himself, as the Saiyans were living among slaves among the rule of Frieza, who dominated the entire universe as the Emperor. Frieza was planning on killing the Saiyans, as Beerus instructed him, and Beerus was known as the God of Destruction. Frieza also did it because he was scared of a Super Saiyan overthrowing him one day. Bardock would still sacrifice his life to make sure that Kakarot would get away, as he does see the future, having visions that he got from an alien long ago as a curse for them destroying his planet. Bardock saw Kakarot fighting Frieza. Bardock knew that this would change everything. Once when Kakarot was then sent away, he would land on a planet called Planet Earth, where he would then meet an older man named Grandpa Gohan, who took the boy in. Now the boy was wild, a little bit rambunctious. The boy was very angry. One day, he decided to take the boy out for a hike. Goku then fell a long way down, hitting his head, and he thought that the boy passed away. But he noticed that the injury on his head healed instantly. But ever since then, the damage was done. As the boy changed, he was a bit more lighthearted, more happy, and a very loving boy. But he was more shocked with how his injury was so severe, and it healed instantly. It was incredible to Grandpa Gohan. As the boy would then grow older, Grandpa Gohan would then be collecting water, as he would then see the young boy who was around the age of 5 to 6. The young boy would then explain that he has something cool to show him. Grandpa Gohan wonders what he means. Goku would then stretch his arm across the living room, and his arm would then retract back into his normal size. As Goku would then explore this, as he would then stretch, change size, and even turn into goo and fly around, it was incredible to Grandpa Gohan. It's almost like goo, like elastic rubber-like body. It's incredible. And of course, Goku's power was immense. He had a lot of hidden power kept within him, as Goku kept a small piece of Majin Buu within him. With this being said, since Majin Buu's power is so immense, even a small piece of him is still a massive hidden power. Now, Grandpa Gohan was amazed, as he would help Goku hone these skills. Now, normal attacks would not actually hurt Goku, as they would hurt him, but it would heal him instantly, and it didn't seem to do permanent damage. During over the next couple of years, Goku would still transform into a great ape, sadly killing Grandpa Gohan. When Goku transforms back, he notices that everything was destroyed, and he couldn't find Grandpa Gohan at all. Goku would then continue living on his life, as he would then meet Bulma for the first time. He was on summer vacation searching for the Dragon Balls to find a boyfriend first, and this is when Bulma would then work with Goku to find the Dragon Balls. Goku would then agree, and the same effect would have happened to where Goku would have stopped the giant bear. All that would have went the same. Now he would have met Master Roshi, and he would then give them the 3-star Dragon Ball and the Flying Nimbus as rewards for bringing him back Turtle and giving him water. Now this is when Goku, a couple days later, would then stop the reign of the terrible Oolong, and the old woman would then give Bulma and him the 6-star Dragon Ball. Bulma would then know about Goku's strange abilities. It was truly incredible for her to see something like this. He's not human. With the tail, and not to mention he can stretch 40 feet across the forest if he wanted to. It was truly incredible. As Goku always wonders why he is like this, but he was just born this way. And Goku's power was very immense. Roshi sensed an incredible hidden power within him, but it was blocked away, sealed, almost like a potential that he needed to unlock. This is when Roshi would then use the Kamehameha to put out the flames on the Frying Pan Mountain. Now they would still get the 7-star Dragon Ball. Now this is when of course Mai and Shu and the others would then steal Dragon Ball. The Pilaf gang would then summon Shenron, and Oolong would still make his dirty wish. Now Goku would not look at the moon and destroy Pilaf's castle. Since Goku can change size, do whatever he needs to do, Goku would just slide under the door and be able to escape. And he would then free his friends. Now this is when Goku would then meet Krillin for the first time and become his student. Alongside Krillin, now with Master Roshi being his new teacher, Goku would quickly shock them with how fast his progression was going. He quickly surpassed Krillin, but Krillin was trying to keep up the best he could, thus making Krillin himself even a little bit stronger. Now Roshi would know that he has great potential within him, and he's not normal. Roshi would know about Goku's almost magical abilities, like what he calls it. It reminds him of Baba, his sister. Maybe she could help. As Baba would then meet Goku, she would then use a ritual to see the power within Goku. She would then jump back in shock and fear, as what she saw inside of Goku was a monster known as Majin Buu, who would then smile evilly at her. And this is the version of Kid Buu, the pure form. She then saw the raw power that was within Goku, and she would then jump back in shock. She would not tell them about what she saw, or maybe what Goku could become, but she was truly amazed at the boy's magical abilities. It was definitely magical, on a form of realistic too. She would then actually help train with Goku as well, as she did Master Roshi. Goku would then learn more abilities, as Goku would then figure out the candy bean, which was odd, because Goku was super hungry and he accidentally ate all of Roshi's fridge. So, since there was nothing left, he then imagined that that rock would have looked really good as like a giant sandwich, or a giant chocolate bar. Then from his hand, he would then fire a pink beam, which would then hit the rock and turn it to a large sandwich, and a large piece of candy. Goku would wonder what the heck just happened. He would then smell it and then of course take a big bite, and he would love it, devouring it. This would shock Roshi, and Roshi wonders, well, I guess they don't need to do shopping anymore. And Baba was amazed that he was able to turn things into candy or food. It was incredible. And I guess that really helps the boy's appetite, so Roshi doesn't blow all his money on bills. Now, with the continuing of training, over 7 months later, this is when they would then jump towards and go to the next tournament. Now heading to the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament, this is when Goku would easily fly through the tournament. As Tien was here, but mainly it was Jackie Chung, aka Roshi. Roshi would fight Goku head on, but he has no chance. Goku would not turn into a great ape in this scenario, because when they did try removing his tail before, because they saw that he would turn into a giant great ape, it wouldn't have worked anyway. His tail would have just regrew right back. So Goku can always keep his tail if he wants to. Now Master Roshi would have fired a Kamehameha wave at Goku at full strength. Goku would have actually tanked the blast, but Roshi would look in shock and horror, as Goku's entire chest and stomach was gone. Goku would then look down in shock, but then it instantly healed, like it was nothing. This would then shock everybody, but Bulma remembers that he can heal almost any injury. Is he invincible? This is when Goku would then overpower Master Roshi, defeating him this time. Since in terms of power levels, Goku still has to unlock a massive amount of potential, but he does have way more abilities, from as we know. Majin Buu has a whole plethora of abilities. It's almost a dictionary, how many abilities and powers that he actually has. Now Goku, now after defeating Roshi, at least this time around, he will not splue all the money right on food. Now, of course, with this being said with Majin Buu, of course, Goku would then continue on, fighting alongside his friends against the Red Ribbon Army. Now with the Red Ribbon Army, some difference are going to occur. With Goku now being so much stronger, in reality, they would have no chance against this version of Goku. But Goku being so powerful doesn't really matter, because his power is rising and rising as, of course, he's getting stronger and stronger. So the Red Ribbon Army would very quickly be annihilated. But would Dr. Gero survive? I'm going to say yes. Dr. Gero would survive, as Goku did not destroy all of them, of course. Now this is when we're going to cut forward all the way through. Goku would then, after defeating, he would still meet up at Korn's tower. Now, what this means is, would Goku still meet Master Korn? Yes. Would he take the sacred water? Yes, as well. Now, if you guys remember, Mercenary Tao was the reason why Goku even met Korn, when Goku would save Appa and his father. Now, Goku would then see that Appa was still gravely injured by Mercenary Tao. Goku would then have his hands on him and hope that he can get better, and he wishes that he could heal him. Then, he would then see that his body would then glow, and he was saved, as Goku now learned that he's able to heal people from certain death of injury. It was truly incredible. Now this is when Goku would then run around to the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament. Now Tien Shinhan originally won, barely beating Goku. Now Goku went in second place. Now this time around, Goku would have actually defeated Tien Shinhan. Goku at this point has a battle power of nearing 1,000 already, which is very strong in terms of Dragon Ball lore. Now this is when Krillin was killed by Tambourine, but in this what if round, when Goku does find Krillin, Krillin was still barely alive. Remember, it takes about 7 minutes for a person to die completely, because your brain is still alive for over 7 minutes. Goku found him just in time and healed him, saving Krillin's life. When Goku leaves in anger to go find Tambourine, and Demon King Piccolo would appear, this is when we actually see Goku for the first time showcase his true anger. Goku felt a rage that he never felt before, as Goku almost on instinct would begin hitting his chest, almost in like a gorilla-like way, as in steam would begin coming off of his body, and steam would then come around him, as his power level was rising. This is when Goku's eyes would then change color looking at Tambourine and Demon King Piccolo, as his eyes would then turn pink, and his pupils dilated down to a pink color, but his eyes all around would be pitch black. Goku would then smirk, and he would then fly right into Tambourine, punching right through him and Demon King Piccolo. His hand would then reach out, grabbing Demon King Piccolo, throwing him into the side of the wall. Demon King Piccolo was gravely injured from the punch that landed through his stomach. He would then spit out an egg just in time, telling his son to go kill him when the time was right. Goku would then open up his mouth and then fire a massive pink beam attack, hitting Demon King Piccolo, vaporizing him. Now, since Demon King Piccolo was able to birth out an egg, that means that Kami does not die, so he'll be reincarnated in a way. Goku would then revert back to normal, as he didn't know what happened. He kind of just blacked out, not knowing what really happened. Now, just to remind people, this is not Majin Buu taking over Goku. This is Goku tapping into a primal rage that Majin Buu had, since that small piece of Majin Buu is from the pure evil version. That pure evil is now in Goku, but does taint his heart when he gets really upset. Now, since Goku killed Demon King Piccolo, this is when he'll be met by Kami and Popo. This is when Goku would then drink the sacred water once again, and he would then begin training for 3 years, as Goku needs to learn to control this rage and power that Kami saw. Kami hasn't seen power like this ever. He's only heard of it in legends before, of a being, maybe, but he needs more help. Maybe someone else that's higher up than him, but he can't contact him yet. It's not the right time. This is when he began his training on Kami's lookout. Now, Kami would not restore the planet's moon, since it was never destroyed. Also, Kami would never remove his tail. because he can't. So they did this so Goku never come to Zaru again. Now this is when Tien, Yamcha, Krillin, and Chaozu climb Korin Tower to begin training. Now during the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament, this is when Goku would then meet up with Chi-Chi. Now Goku would have still met Chi-Chi the same as before. As Goku and Chi-Chi would have still promised each other, Goku's still a bit foolish. And he would still marry Chi-Chi. Now Piccolo Jr. would then arrive, as Goku and Piccolo would then square off, and Goku would have easily defeated Tien. And then when he fights Piccolo, Goku would actually take off his weighted clothing for the first time, as he actually wants to see how strong he actually has become. And Piccolo Jr. is technically the strongest being on the world except him. Why not try it? Goku, after removing his weighted clothes, once when he drops it, it makes a massive crater. These weighted clothings are tons and tons of weight. It's almost like a car on each set of clothing. The wristband, the boots, and the shirt. It was shocking, as Piccolo couldn't even pick his wristband up. It was that heavy. Goku's never felt so light before. Goku would then stretch out all of his limbs a couple of feet, cracking a few joints, as Goku was now ready. As Goku would then begin powering up, as he wants to showcase what he can actually do. Kami taught Goku, through Mr. Popo's help as well, to tap into that power that he had. He has so much raw power within him. It's so untapped. Goku has learned over time a lot of mental training to tap into this power, to use this to increase his strength. So the problem is if Goku goes too far, he could start to get too wild. But Goku's learned to control a lot. Goku would then begin powering up, as his scream almost sounds like a mix of Majin Buu and Goku, the evil side. This is when Goku would then start having pink electricity fire up around him. As then Goku's aura would then begin changing, turning almost like a pink and blackish. Piccolo was staring in shock at this power, as his power level was skyrocketing and he's never seen this before. As the whole area turns dark, as lightning was hitting all around him, Goku was powering up even more. As steam and everything else was rising all around him, Goku would then bulk up a little bit in size, gaining another inch or so of muscle and maybe an inch of height. Goku would then scream, as Goku has now transformed into more of his untapped power. But this is still very incomplete. He's not even scratching the surface yet. Goku would then look at his hand, as his eyes were pure black, with the red eyes. This is when Goku would then smirk at Piccolo, saying that he's been wanting to test this power out. Now, how strong is Goku by this point? Let me know in the comment down below, if you guys have made it this far, how strong is this version of Goku? When Piccolo would then try to attack Goku, he wouldn't even make Goku budge. Goku would then give Piccolo the orange Piccolo look that he did on Gamma 1, using a single punch, knocking Piccolo down, defeating him. Goku was a bit disappointed, but he would then shrink and turn back to normal. As counting to 10, Piccolo Jr. would lose. He would then save his life by stopping Kami from killing him, and he would then explain that, remember, if Piccolo dies, then Kami dies as well, and vice versa. This is when Goku would then leave with Chi-Chi and go get married. Now Gohan would still be born, and will Gohan have the same abilities that Goku would have? In terms for what-if purposes, Gohan did not inherit Goku's Majin abilities. Goku is one of a kind. It cannot be inherently given, since Kai did not make it that way. Supreme Kai only made Goku one of a kind. Now Supreme Kai has been watching Goku this whole time, and he was amazed at his power, though he does need more time to continue nurturing and growing, and when the time is right, the Supreme Kai would then meet Goku. He needs Goku to mature into a full-grown man first. Goku's still a young, early, college teenager in a way. After 5 years, Goku would then take his son to go meet Master Roshi and his friends. Raditz would still make himself known and tell Goku all about the Saiyan heritage, and he would tell Goku to either bring dead bodies here, or he will steal his son. Of course, this is not going to happen, as Goku would stop Raditz immediately, and nearly kill him. Raditz has no chance against this version of Goku, unfortunately, even base form Goku. But Goku would then spare his life, telling him that to either leave this planet and to never return. Raditz is a bit of a coward. He would agree when he loses. He would then say that there are 2 Saiyans even stronger than him, and they'll be here to end him. He would then fly off into his own space pod and then leave. Vegeta and Nappa were interested now. This Saiyan was able to beat Raditz. That's a bit interesting. They need to go look into this. So they would start heading their way. Now, Kami would then get notified by somebody that they would be having some problems. This is when Kami would then be in shock as he turned around, seeing the Supreme Kai. Kami would instantly bow to him and wonder, why is he here? The Supreme Kai would then state that he's here to see Goku, as he has a lot he needs to tell Kami. After speaking for a few minutes, Kami was in shock, but he understands. Now Goku can sense the strange power nearby. He would then fly off, thinking it might be a Saiyan or maybe somebody else that arrived early. But it doesn't feel evil. It feels almost divine. He's never felt more like a pressure to it. Once arriving, this is when Goku would then stop, as he was in the forest overlooking a beautiful valley. He would then be confused as he couldn't see anyone. As then a voice would then speak. Goku would then turn around as he can't find it. Then instantly right behind him was the Supreme Kai. Goku would then jump into a stance, not knowing who this was. But he would then calm down, as the Supreme Kai doesn't seem evil. Supreme Kai would then sit down with Goku and explain who he was, and explain what Goku is. He would explain all about Majin Buu and his people, explaining that his friends, his comrades, his family almost, was destroyed by this demonic and monstrous entity. He would then explain to Goku that he needed to make someone that when the day comes, he can defeat Majin Buu, who is the most terrible being in the universe. And Goku was the perfect example, so he created him. Goku was a bit confused on everything, as remember, he's not the sharpest guy around, but he understands. And he understands, why is he here now? The Supreme Kai states that while the Saiyans will be arriving soon, but they are no match for you, the current power. I can sense them now. They are no match for you. But still, I'm not concerned about these Saiyans, or even that Frieza fellow. I'm more concerned about Babidi. Babidi has a lot of tricks up his sleeve, and Majin Buu is even worse. Goku wonders, at my current strength right now, do you think I can fight him? That guy seems really strong. The Supreme Kai would then frown and state it's not a funny matter. Majin Buu would destroy you with just a glare. At his current power level, it's laughable. Even himself, who has no chance against Majin Buu, could destroy him with a single finger if he wanted to. Goku then thinks, oh, that sucks. Supreme Kai would then state that him and a subordinate, Kibito Kai, will teach Goku and train him. They need to have him prepared, as the threat of Majin Buu will destroy everything that he's ever loved. Goku wonders, well, when's he going to be here? Supreme Kai states that's the problem, we don't know. And I can't find Babidi, unfortunately. He might be here on Earth, potentially, but I don't know yet. But until then, you need to train, because you don't know when Buu will be here. Will it be tomorrow? Or will it be 100 years from now? We don't know. It's better to train now or never. Goku would then agree, and he would then leave, heading on his way. Now this is when over a year would pass, Goku would begin training with the Kais, with Kibito and of course the Supreme Kai giving Goku new clothing. He thinks it's a bit tight, but it's okay. It's not his style. But he understands it's for the training. He would then train to be able to get the Z Sword, the ultimate power. This was the sword that the Grand Supreme Kai used to be able to defeat Majin Buu. Now Goku will begin training, trying to get the sword out, but he couldn't do it, unlocking more and more of his power. The Supreme Kai knows to continue pushing Goku's potential, and Goku's S cells being higher than normal. Supreme Kai made sure of this. The Supreme Kai knows about these S cells and that it can increase a user's power through transformation, so he put as much as he could into Goku's body, though without not overcharging him and killing him, of course. With Majin Buu's potential on top of this as well, being a natural learner, Goku was quickly able to learn abilities that actually surprised the Supreme Kai. Goku was able to manipulate electricity. He was able to extend his body in certain shapes and sizes as well, even able to use weapons like how Majin Buu could. Goku was even able to learn a very dangerous ability called absorption. And Goku did this by actually absorbing Kibito Kai. And Goku was able to remove him from his body, of course, but Goku realized that he can absorb people and take their power, and learn everything about them, their abilities, their power, their skills. Goku does not like this technique, as it feels wrong to steal power. The Supreme Kai states that it's a brilliant idea though, and remember to keep that as a ultimate failsafe in case he's against a major losing field. He can try and use that if he ever needs to stop a threat. Goku would then learn how to control the candy beam way better, being able to even turn them into other objects too. Now Goku by this point has only grown even stronger. Goku would know the limits of his immortality, the fact that he is immortal. He will not be able to age anymore. Past his prime age, not much else that really can be learned. Goku was now learning more about the Super Saiyan transformation. And why is this? Through the training of deep mental training with Kibito and the Supreme Kai, Goku through anger would then tap into Super Saiyan for the first time. Having much higher S cells, in terms of the Supreme Kai helping him, Goku would be able to learn Super Saiyan very quickly. This would then shock them with the raw power that Goku had as a Super Saiyan. The Super Saiyan transformation would not look really any different. Though you could say maybe it's pink, or maybe it's like rosé. If you want to, that's up to you. But for continuity purposes, Super Saiyan looks the same for Goku. Though his other transformation is of course tapping into Buu's hidden power within him. Tapping into that primalistic rage. Which is a whole other set of power that's completely stronger than a Super Saiyan, but this is a safe transformation to go into. Now by this point, Goku has also learned the Kai Kai technique, as Majin Buu is actually able to use this, preferably Kid Buu. And on top of this, Goku, after absorbing Kibito Kai, and if he even absorbed the Supreme Kai, which that probably wouldn't happen, he would know how to use the ability anyway. Also, Majin Buu can learn instantly by copying moves. He did this to Goku and others, so he would be able to learn this. Now Goku can go back and forth home, go wherever he wants, as he can teleport instantly, wherever he wants. This is when Goku in his Super Saiyan form would then charge up to his full strength, and he would then grab the Z-Sword, finally removing it. Once removed, he would then begin training under the Z-Sword. It was very heavy, but over time he would quickly adjust to it, using the sword and swinging it around. This is when Goku would then have the idea, maybe try out the Z-Sword and actually try to, destroy something. The Supreme Kai thinks that might be a good idea, so he gets a certain kind of metal. Not Ketchin, by the way. This is when Goku would then cut it easily, as it cut right through it like it was nothing. This amazed them, as in this timeline, Goku did not use the strongest metal in the universe, just to mind you, so the Z-Sword has not broken just yet. Goku's not much of a sword guy, but he doesn't mind it actually, as he does quite like it. It'll really help him out in battle. Goku would then put it on his back, as he wonders if he can get a change of clothing, as the Kai clothes are nice, but it's not his style. Supreme Kai would then understand, and they would then swap it out. As now Goku has his own sheath and everything for the sword, Goku looks really cool. Having his G with the sword, Goku is now ready to go fight the Saiyans. As now when Goku leaves, using the Kai Kai technique, he arrives right on time, as none of the Earthlings would die in this timeline. Raditz would still be there with Nappa and Vegeta. Now when Goku steps up to go fight him, Gohan has also been training on his own as well. Vegeta wonders who this Saiyan is, as Goku would then challenge all three of them to fight him at the same time. And they will laugh, as all of them will begin fighting Goku, who they have zero chance. Goku was toying with all of them. Raditz was instantly swatted to the side, as Nappa and Vegeta are a lot stronger than him, but no matter what they did, even teaming up, which is something that Saiyans never do, they have no chance of touching this version of Goku. He's just way too fast. He's toying with them. No, not even breaking a sweat. This is when Goku would then remove his sword, and he would then hold it out in front of them, saying, "Y'all want this weapon, huh?" As funny enough, they assumed that maybe his power was going through that sword, as the Saiyans can sense that there was something about that sword that is special. They could almost feel a presence on it. They then wonder, is that sword giving him strength? As then, this is when Goku would then toss it to Nappa and Vegeta. The sword would then crash on the ground with a massive thud, as people forget how heavy the Z-Sword actually is. Goku in the Buu Saga was barely able to lift this up, by the way. And this version of Goku from the Cell Saga was able to lift up well over 40 tons. So imagine a Buu Saga version of Goku as well on top of that, being hundreds of times stronger than that. So this Z-Sword is very heavy. Nappa would actually try lifting it, even using both of his strength, his muscles bulging, his veins appearing on his forehead. He couldn't even make the sword budge, it was that heavy. Vegeta would then try himself, but he just couldn't lift it, it was too heavy. Goku would then extend his arm, stretching, he would then grab the Z-Sword, sheathing it back away, which would shock the other two. He would then state that there's no way that you can defeat me. He would then tell him to give up and get out of here. This is when Nappa thinks, you think maybe he's like a Super Saiyan or something? Because there's no way a Saiyan is this strong. Vegeta would say no to it. As Nappa would be too hot-headed, he would try and jump in to attack Goku. Goku would then unsheath the sword and slice Nappa in half in one slice. Nappa would then fall dead, as Vegeta was now terrified. Vegeta, though not giving up, Goku can sense something about Vegeta. As Vegeta needs plot to keep him alive, we need Vegeta. Vegeta would then yell and then charge in. Trying to kill him, Goku would then stab Vegeta in the stomach, leaving a big, massive gash. Vegeta would then fall over Kratos style, being defeated. But Goku would then hold his hand over Vegeta and actually heal him. Fortunately, he was not able to save Nappa in time, as Nappa was cut literally in half. Or was he? Goku cut Nappa in half around the midsection. You're still alive for about 7 minutes. So, with Goku's magic, he was actually able to heal Nappa and save his life. Nappa actually survived. He's very lucky Goku cut sideways and not straight down. Now, Raditz was in utter shock and horror. He had no idea his brother was this strong, nor had these weird powers. Once when they all recovered and were basically kept in Capsule Corp, over time, they would kind of fall into the life. As Vegeta would start liking Bulma, Nappa would kind of be there as well, training and doing his own thing. Goku would then go back to the Supreme Kai, and he would continue training with him, as Goku has a lot of work to do. Now, of course, as we know, what about Frieza? Well, Goku has no interest to go kill Frieza, since Frieza's not done anything to him, nor done anything. But maybe the Supreme Kai will send Goku out on missions. Since Goku technically works for the Supreme Kai now, he will be sent out to go handle some fun missions. After Goku has now defeated the Saiyans and now begin his more training at the Supreme Kai's world, this is when once Goku just finishes his training with the Z-Sword more and more, his power is only continuing to grow massively. Goku is finally learning to unlock his actual potential of his Majin Buu form, but it's still very early phase. Fortunately, if Goku goes too far, he'll kind of lose himself and get to a massive rage. So with Goku now learning the Kai Kai ability, he can teleport anywhere he wishes around the universe, as long as he knows where the location is at. So he can teleport back and forth to Earth whenever he wants to. This is when the Supreme Kai would then introduce Goku to the Galactic Patrol, temporarily putting Goku for hire, as he wants Goku to explore the universe and to continue growing his strength. And the best way to do that is to test it against many opponents that are wanted by the Galactic Patrol. As some people that don't know, the Galactic Patrol is a kind of like a massive space prison, and they send out, and people might have bounties on them, such as like Frieza. There's monster beings like Moro and others that are bad criminals in the universe. They're locked up and they're sent to there. So once when Goku would then meet the king of it, they would then send Goku off with some other, of course, lower level characters. One of the newer ones would actually be Jocko. Now, we don't know officially when Jocko actually started. Apparently he's a pretty high level during the Resurrection F saga, but we're just going to assume here that Jocko has at least been there for a little while. But Goku would then pair up with him, and they'll do some basic stuff first to see where Goku pairs off. So Jocko's kind of like teaching Goku how they work, how their system works. They have to capture these beings and bring them back to the prison so they can be arrested. Now, sometimes they do have a wanted dead or alive, but again, most of the time they want them to be collected the right way and sent to prison. Goku, during that prison era, once when he's inside, he would then sense all these incredible powers that are there. But there was one that was hidden, but he can feel the pressure of it, that was truly incredible. He's never felt a power like that before. And we all know who we're talking about. The hidden cell of Moro. A being of true god power. But of course, Moro's locked up tight. No one's allowed near him, and Goku's never going to have access to that. But he can definitely feel Moro's power. But now Goku then scratched us off to the side, as Moro can definitely sense Goku's power, and he doesn't like it. He kind of reminds him of somebody a long time ago. You all know who we're talking about. This is when Goku would then travel around, all around, helping out the Yardrat people. Once when Goku arrives with Jocko, they would then meet up with the Ginyu Force. Now, Jocko was actually pretty strong in his own right. We don't have an official power level for him, but he was actually able to fight the Frieza Force members pretty well, and actually fight a whole bunch of them by himself. But now, of course, that doesn't really justify how strong he is. I've seen people give him a power level of 10,000, some people give him a power level of 1,000. It's really up in the air. So if you guys want to comment down below, what power level do you think Jocko actually is? I'm going to say that Jocko, just for right now, has a battle power of around 3,000, just to give him something. So he's not weak at all. He's actually incredibly strong, but of course he's not overly over the top crazy strong. Like beings like Vegeta and Nappa would absolutely annihilate him in a fight. Now, this is when Jaco would be completely outmatched, and he knows this, so he'll stay clear out of the way. Now, of course, with the Ginyu Force having all of them there, Goku would then fight them. Now, they would then point out how he's a Saiyan, because they can see the tail. This would then let Frieza know, since remember, Frieza's listening in on the comms. Frieza didn't know that there were other Saiyans, especially when working for the Galactic Patrol. That could be a problem, but he'll scratch that off to the side. Now, Goku would then challenge the Ginyu Force, as the Ginyu Force has laid waste to a good chunk of the Yardrat people, but with Goku's Kai ability, he was able to get there a lot quicker than Jaco's ship was. So Goku was able to save the majority of them, just in time. This is when Recoome would step up first alongside with Guldo. Now, they would take turns on who wants to go first. Of course, I think Guldo would want to step up first to challenge him, as when they sensed Goku's power level with their scouters, his power level was laughable. It was only like 5,000, so they can handle that no issue. And the other guy only had a battle power of 2,000 to 3,000, so they're nothing. This is when Guldo would then get a Rude Awakening. Guldo would then use his time ability, actually holding Goku back. Now, Goku would realize that this is a pretty strong ability. He can actually manipulate psychosis and actually do time like that. That's pretty impressive. But Goku would use his own raw strength, and he would actually start to overpower it walking through it, which would shock Guldo, as they've never seen somebody do that before. This is when Goku would then charge in, delivering a powerful gut punch to Guldo, killing him within a single strike. This would then shock everybody. He was able to kill Guldo that easily, but now they did credit how Guldo was not the most powerful being around, compared to them at least. This is when Recoome would then step up on his own. He wants to have some fun. Come on, let me go first. Now, Jason Birder and Ginyu asked Captain Ginyu, what do you think? And Captain Ginyu would then accept. This is when Recoome would then jump in, and he'll begin attacking Goku. Goku was far too quick. Goku would give them the same treatment that he did during the Namek Saga originally. Albeit, this Goku is way more powerful than originally, and Goku knows he's not going to be wasting too much time. Since remember, Goku's been trained by the Supreme Kai, he knows he has to end fights a little bit early, but he can't help himself. He just has to see, like, what can they do? So this is when Goku would easily defeat Recoome. Recoome would then try his Ultra Fighting Bomber, but Goku delivering a powerful elbow would then kill him, knocking him out. So this is when Jason Birder would then actually step up, tag teaming together to fight Goku, who would easily deflect the attacks, as he can see how strong they are, but they're not even a challenge for him at all. So he would then deliver two powerful punches at the same time, killing Jason Birder. Once their bodies fall, this would then shock Captain Ginyu at his raw strength. Goku would then begin powering up just a little bit, as his power level would shoot past 180,000 and his scouter would then explode. As Captain Ginyu would be in shock, he would then try to relay information back to Frieza while the power level was spiking, telling him that they need help, his power level is too high, and then boom, it would then explode. But Frieza knows about this Saiyan and how strong it was. Power level over 180,000? That's pretty worrisome for Frieza. Not massively, but for a Saiyan being that strong to kill Captain Ginyu is pretty impressive. So Frieza would then begin heading his way over to planet Yardrat, albeit he's not going to move very fast to get there. Frieza's still a little bit far away. But in due time, Goku would then see Jaco yell at him, stating that, hey, you gotta make sure that they're alive. We can't bring them all dead. And Goku kind of apologized, and he says, well, that Recoome guy's not dead, I don't think. I think he's just knocked out. And then when, of course, Jace goes over there and checks, he's like, no, he's dead. You killed all four of them right now. Goku's like, oh, okay, well, I'll just knock this other guy out then for you. And, and then Captain Ginyu would be furious the fact that they're talking about him like that. He's just some fodder. Now, Captain Ginyu would try attacking Goku, and he would even try the Change Now technique. Goku would then split his head completely, almost like a donut, right in the middle, and the beam would then go right through the hole, and it would miss Goku. Remember, Goku can manipulate his body just like Buu, or Goku could have moved his head out of the way by stretching it, or actually put his head in his body like a turtle if he wanted to. We've seen Buu do this before. So, fortunately, Captain Ginyu would not be able to switch bodies with him. Now, Goku sees that ability is dangerous. Jace would then state that yes, Captain Ginyu had that ability to where he can switch bodies with people. Goku would then appear behind Ginyu and give him a powerful neck chop, stopping him. Now, once when this was done, Ginyu was knocked out cold. He was not waking up anytime soon. Jace, with the help of Goku, would then stuff his prison ship full with all the Captain Ginyu members, and he would then thank Goku a lot. And he states if Goku wants to head back. Goku says, well, it'll take you a few days to get back to the prison place. I'm actually going to stay here and meet these guys and try and help them out. So Goku would then stay and actually heal a lot of the Yardratian people that are around. As a lot of them were going to die of their wounds, Goku would save a massive margin of them. They were, of course, beyond thankful of Goku. This is when Goku would then meet the head honcho himself of all the Yardrat people. He would then offer to teach Goku. And Goku, within a few days, remember, Vegeta was already able to learn instant transmission. By trying it for the first time, he was able to learn it. And within a few days' time, he was able to master Spirit Fission as well. And Goku having way more potential than Vegeta, being a natural learner, even being higher, since remember, Kid Buu has the ability to learn abilities and moves just by seeing it once. Goku can do a similar thing, but not like Buu could. So Goku would be able to learn instant transmission, but again, would he really need it? I don't think so. I think he'll realize that it's the same as his Kai ability, but it's just a bit dulled down, so he would kind of cross that out. They would teach him about Spirit Fission to control his energy. Since he has so much raw power within a small bottle, Goku would then agree. And with that, Goku would be able to basically control his energy much better, which would make him much stronger too. So Goku's a whole package right now, and he's no joke. So now that Goku has way better control over his power, he knows also other meditation techniques to help him control it. But he still is an ant on an iceberg compared to how much power he needs to control. But he is getting there slowly. Now he would then use the Kai ability, thanking all of them and then leaving. He would then arrive back at the Galactic Patrol prison. He would then meet the king there, and he would then thank Goku for his efforts. That was no small feat what he did. And he would then state how easily he did it too. Now, if Goku ever wants to do Galactic Patrol work, all he has to do is just let him know. Now, there wasn't really any other big threat. Or was there? He would then give Goku the biggest mission of his life. He would then state that Frieza was actually heading his way over to the same planet Yardrat again. But he's stopping nearby on another Frieza planet. And by Goku says Frieza planet, he means it's because Frieza takes over the whole planet and says it's his. It was like Frieza planet number 1 to 79, etc., etc. That's kind of how Frieza's empire works. And Goku would then say, well, who's this Frieza guy, and how strong is he? They would then give Goku the full details on Frieza that they know of. Roughly what his power level is, how strong he is, his intellect, everything, his appearance, everything about him. And Goku would actually be excited to fight him. He's heard about him maybe once or twice before. Goku would then agree, and then Goku would then use the Kai ability, and he'd be able to sense where Frieza is. Remember, Goku's ability to sense beings is way further now, especially with learning to control Ki much better through the Yardrat people. Goku would still feel Frieza's presence. He would first teleport to Yardrat, which is much closer to Frieza. Then he would fully be able to sense him. Goku would then teleport, being near Frieza, near his ship, which was now on Frieza's world. As there were tens of hundreds of thousands of Frieza soldiers all around, they would then see a random guy there, and he was a Saiyan. All of them would then try attacking Goku, who Goku would easily kill them by one. Goku's not trying to kill nobody, but he would knock them out just by a single blow one by one. And Zarbon and Dodoria would then see what was happening. They would try to go stop Goku, but they would be stopped the same way. Dodoria was killed within a single strike, making Zarbon run away in fear. Frieza heard the commotion, and he would then step out. This is when Goku would then meet Frieza face to face. Finally, meeting face to face for the first time, Goku would then tell Frieza who he is and that he's here to arrest him. This would then make Frieza laugh hysterically, as Frieza would state, "You arresting me is a joke. Would he work for the Galactic Patrol?" Goku still has the symbol on his shirt. He basically is wearing the same outfit that he did in Dragon Ball Super during the Moro arc, during the Galactic Patrol arc, so that's pretty much the whole setup. And Goku would state, well, originally I would just beat you myself, but they want to arrest you, and I am supposed to help out under my master, so fortunately you gotta come with me. So you're gonna do it the easy way, or are you gonna do it the more fun way? Frieza would then laugh at him and state that that's not gonna happen, and he seems to forget who that Saiyan is. Frieza would then state that how he destroyed the whole planet of Vegeta, and the fact that he must have missed him. He does resemble somebody. Maybe it's an offspring, or maybe his other relative, maybe? Because Frieza remembers the Saiyan that looks just like him. This is when Goku and Frieza begin their fight. Frieza would battle Goku in his first form, and Goku would commend on how strong Frieza was compared to his Ginyu Force guys. Now Frieza then puts 2 and 2 together and makes sense that he must have been the Saiyan to defeat the Ginyu Force. He does commend on killing Captain Ginyu. He even offers Goku to actually come join him. Goku would of course decline, and Frieza would then see that his power level was actually surpassing his, making his scouter explode. Frieza was then in shock, but then Frieza would then explain that he has more transformations than this one. He's currently in his first reduced form, his weakest state. He can transform 3 more times. Now Goku would then tell him to go to his full strength. Frieza would skip his other transformations, as there's not a need. Frieza knows that the Saiyan's no joke, and he's not going to take any effort. Goku tells him to go to your final form and show me your true strength. Frieza states that no one has ever seen this other than his parents. Frieza would then transform, turning into his true form, or his final form. With final form Frieza, he would then begin battling Goku. Goku would see that Frieza has gotten way stronger, but unfortunately Goku's still in base form. Goku has not even transformed into a Super Saiyan just yet. Now Frieza was getting irritated, as their attacks were destroying the entire planet. Frieza was getting really desperate, since no matter what he's doing, as Goku was able to keep up with him. Until Frieza would then go into his full power state, buffing up, going 100%. And this is what Goku's been wanting, as Goku's trying to fight Frieza as weak as he can, as in his base form, not using any of his Majin powers either, and Goku's able to hold his own still. This goes to kind of show you just how strong Goku is, but Frieza's pushing Goku a little bit because Goku's trying to have fun. Goku's grown a lot. Now, once when Frieza continues battling Goku, it was fun for the first few minutes until he starts realizing that Frieza's just getting weaker and weaker. And so Frieza literally was doing nothing to Goku and he was actually really bored. He was weaker than he was before. Now, Goku would then tell Frieza that, well, if this is the case, turn yourself in. Frieza would never allow this. Frieza would then try to attack Goku once again, who would easily dodge the attacks. This is when Goku would then appear behind Frieza, powering up really quickly. This is when Goku would then showcase Frieza why they're so different. Goku would then turn into a Super Saiyan, which would then shock Frieza and all the other soldiers and men who watched. Zarbon was the most shocked out of all of them. How a Saiyan was able to possess this kind of power. This was when Frieza would still, out of fear, still try to attack Goku, thinking that no one's beneath him, and that everything is beneath him. Goku would then appear behind Frieza and neck chop him, knocking Frieza out completely cold. This is when Goku would then tell everyone else that was around that he defeated Frieza with ease, and everybody to leave this planet and never do any more evil again. If they do, he'll be here to stop them. This is when Goku would then just up and leave. He would then grab Frieza's body, picking his arm up, and he would then use the Kai Kai ability, teleporting away right to the Galactic Patrol area. They would then put Frieza within a specialized cell. Remember, if they're able to contain Moro, I think they can hold Frieza back too. They have special cells that can contain people with extraordinary power, like Frieza. This is when Goku would then throw Frieza in the cell, and Frieza was back into his normal final form. He wasn't in his full power no more. Frieza would then awaken, and he would try to escape, but unfortunately it was not working, as Frieza was powerless now. This is when Frieza would then dread the Saiyan that one day he will escape and kill him. And as Frieza was freaking out for a couple of days, as he's trying to get out, they would then thank Goku truly. He really cleaned up the universe with Frieza. He was a big mess. The only other problem was there was King Cold, and he's just as dangerous as Frieza is, and they offer Goku to go stop him too. Now, Goku would, as Goku would then use the Kai Kai ability, finding out where King Cold is. Once when meeting King Cold, he's a little bit different than Frieza, as he's not as physically powerful as Frieza, but he's more intelligent. As he tries getting Goku to join his side, Goku would say no. Now, remember, they would probably offer dead or alive for these beings, since they're literally so powerful and so evil. It would probably be where King Cold would try tricking Goku by maybe dropping Goku's guard, saying that he comes in peace, and he'll, of course, deliver himself peacefully, making Goku turn his back. Now this is when King Cold would then stab through Goku's chest with his hand, until Goku would then turn around at him, shocking him that he was completely fine. He wasn't even hurt. Remember, because Goku has Buu's body. Though he basically has Buu's abilities, so that means that Goku can't really be hurt by normal attacks. True, it can hurt him, but it didn't really kill him, if that's the right word. Goku would then grab King Cold's hand, and then deliver a powerful punch to him, knocking him out cold, just like he did Frieza. Since he doesn't want to kill him, since there's no point. He couldn't really hurt Goku at all, even when Goku dropped his guard. Now this is when Goku then delivered him as well, as now Supreme Kai would then bring Goku back. As this is when Goku would then say, is his training complete? The Supreme Kai states that yes, we're getting there, and your training is still not done. Goku states, well, how would I compare to Majin Buu? Goku would begin powering up, showing off his full strength. Now, the Supreme Kai would be in shock at how strong he actually became, just from the training and etc. And he states that you definitely can defeat Buu. From what I've sensed, you for sure can defeat Majin Buu easily. But we never know how strong he might become either. Always be prepared no matter what. Goku understands this. but he decides to give Goku a bit of a break and tell him that he can go back home to his family if he wants. And of course the Z-Sword is his, so he can bring it with him. Now Goku would like to use the Z-Sword a lot more, and he does. Now mind you though, Goku is not a massive user of a sword, but he doesn't mind using it either, as it's pretty nice. So Goku would then bring it home with him, since he is the rightful owner of it, being to save their universe. This is when Goku would then hang out with Chi-Chi and his sons after being about a year apart, and they were very happy to have him back. Now this is when Trunks would then appear. Now this is the Trunks from the original future timeline. So this is not a custom What If Trunks. This is the Trunks and the Cell who will appear later on from the original future timeline. So just to clarify that for everyone that knows, so there's no salt in the comments. So Trunks would then be waiting for Goku, but he couldn't find him. And Trunks thinks maybe even coming back now has changed things. He would then find Goku near his home, alongside with Raditz and the others, and he would then talk to Goku privately, telling him all about the future, just like the original. Now he states that Goku dies from a heart virus, and etc., giving him the medicine, and telling him the exact date and time that the androids will be appearing. But once when they leave, now we're going to be having Goku training with his friends for the next 3 years. Now Goku feels like he's more than ready to fight these androids himself, but again, they don't know. So they're going to be having Goku help training everybody, and they're all going to grow massively in power. Now by this point, during the 3 years, Vegeta is continuing to push himself under gravity alongside Nappa too. Nappa's not the weakest guy around either. Nappa is actually pretty cool friends with Piccolo. Since they are kind of similar after all the differences, both being bald, they were actually able to become cool friends and kind of have a respect for each other. So Nappa and Vegeta would both live at Capsule Corp, Raditz would live near Goku and them, and they would all continue growing stronger alongside with Gohan and Piccolo too. Now once when the 3 years would then pass, all the Z Fighters are actually way stronger than they originally were. Beings like Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz have actually unlocked Super Saiyan since Goku was able to teach them all about it. And even beings like Gohan was actually starting on the close end of turning Super Saiyan 2. Now, in terms of power levels, Vegeta, Nappa, Piccolo, and even likes of Gohan, who can turn into a Super Saiyan, but it's very difficult, are actually near the power of Semi-Perfect Cell, which is already way stronger than they were when they started than the original. You guys remember, Android 18 literally clowned on everybody and annihilated the whole team with ease, and now being like Semi-Perfect Cell level is a massive difference. So, they are a lot stronger, comparably. Now this is when Dr. Gero and Android 19 would then make their appearance. Goku would then battle the two androids. Now, Goku is so strong that it's ridiculous at this point how strong he is. But unfortunately, would Goku get the heart virus? No. The reason why Goku did not get it, and would more say not affected by it, is because he's immortal. Majin Buu does not get hurt by diseases and heart viruses and etc. Goku probably did feel off that day, and you could say that maybe he had a little like attack at first, maybe, he started like sweating, but then it quickly healed it away. Or you could say that Goku never had it at all, if you wanted to. But either way, Goku would actually be bored by the two androids, and the only problem is once when he does fire a ki blast, they would absorb it. But the problem was that it was so high in power, it would actually overload Android 19, making him explode. Now these androids are actually a little bit stronger than the original ones. They're near the levels of Android 17 and 18 from the original timeline, so they're actually a lot stronger. So Dr. Gero and Android 19 were actually they're about twice to 3 times stronger than they originally were. The androids here are stronger as well, but we'll get into that shortly. Now, with Dr. Gero seeing how he was easily defeated, he would then run away using smoke as a distraction and dust. Now, Piccolo would then find him, and he would easily be overpowered by Piccolo, but he would use this ability to try and distract Piccolo by absorbing his energy, making him pretty amped, but he would be smart and not take it all and be overloaded. He would have just enough power to knock away Piccolo just for a second, and that would give him just enough time to get out of Piccolo's vision. He can't find him. So he barely escaped on this one, just because he absorbed Piccolo's power and kind of buffed up a little bit and was able to get Piccolo away. But it nearly killed him doing that, overloading his systems. He doesn't know how they got so strong at such a short time, but they need to keep on continuing their work. He would then activate Androids 17 and 18. They would still kill him just like the original, easily kicking off his head. They would activate Android 16, and this is when the 3 androids would then come out. And would Goku step in? Yes. Because again, Goku hasn't really tried yet. Now, Android 16 wants to fight Goku first, as all the androids want to kill him. But the being that would actually step up is actually Vegeta. Vegeta wants his time to shine, as he's been kind of left in the dust. He would then tell them, that's not going to happen, you're going to fight me first. If you want to get Kakarot, fight through me. So they're fine to do that. They would then see that his power level readings are much higher than they thought. Now these androids, I'm reminding you, is way stronger than they originally were, as their power levels are near the level of Semi-Perfect Cell. So Vegeta would fight Android 18, and he would actually fare almost equally to her, all being a little bit stronger. Vegeta was actually able to overpower Android 18, being, again, Vegeta has trained much harder with a way stronger Goku, and not to mention too, they've been abusing Zenkais. If they get seriously hurt, Goku can heal them, remember. So they were shocked with how strong Vegeta was, mainly the other two androids. Android 17 was going to come in to tag team. This is when we're going to be having Raditz jump in and kick Android 17 right in the stomach, sending him back. Now, Android 16 is the bigger problem if Goku wasn't there. Android 16 is actually a lot stronger than the two androids. Once when he steps in, Piccolo would then actually step up to fight Android 16. Now, Piccolo would hold his own pretty well, but it was clear that Android 16 was superior to Piccolo, and Piccolo would have been knocked down. Android 16 would then fight Goku head on. Now, once when Goku would then fight him, Android 16 would then throw a powerful punch at Goku, hitting him right in the face, and this is when Goku gets serious, as his punch does nothing to him, doesn't even phase him. This is when Goku would then look at Android 16, telling him, is that all you got? Android 16 was shocked, as they do know that Goku does have elastic properties. They know that he is a bit weird. Now, Dr. Gero did take a sample of Goku. Now, the problem is that he couldn't really siphon it. Or could he? This is when the androids would then smirk, as all three of them did. They would then wonder what's happening. The androids would then heal all of their wounds almost instantly. As then, Android 17 would then extend his hand out, stretching really far, grabbing Raditz, which would then surprise him, and then the androids have a master plan. Now, about the master plan is that these androids can fuse. Remember, Dr. Gero knows that Goku can do fusion since he studied basically the compound that Goku was made out of. He studied Buu's basically abilities and such. He knows that they can do absorption powers. More in a more technical sense, like how Android 13 could absorb technology, it's a similar concept. That is what Android 16 was actually made for, as then the two androids would then fuse into Android 16, and they can separate as well. They can go in and out if they want to. Now that Android 16 was then supercharged, he was way stronger than before. He would then fight Goku, and Goku again would then still be in base form, battling him. Goku would then get a little bit serious, as he would then burst into a Super Saiyan just for double measure. He would then deliver powerful attacks, and he would give him the Vegito treatment. Goku, unfortunately, is way too strong, especially the fact with the training that he's been recently doing. The problem was that he knows that he's never fought somebody like himself before, so this is a new experience. But no one knows him better than himself. They have the same abilities that he has an idea. Now, with the two androids, Goku would then beat them so badly that they would then separate. So now all three of them would then land on the ground, being badly injured. As remember, they would then start healing to refuse again. This is when Goku would then give them one chance, as he states that one blast can wipe you all completely off the face of the earth, destroying you down to every single atom. He then states that you can either leave and go do good, or I'll destroy all of you. And the androids would then really ponder on it, as what else can they do? They can't stop him. And Android 16 would be the only one to actually try and continue to fight Goku. Android 17 and 18 would actually leave and run away, as they can't defeat Goku. They're not as evil as their original counterparts from the future timeline. Android 16 was so programmed, though, that he doesn't really have any free will. He would then try to attack Goku again. Goku would then turn Android 16 into candy, showcasing this attack for the first time for most to see. The only person who saw this was actually Krillin, Gohan, and Master Roshi. Gohan saw it when Goku was younger, again when Gohan was really young, when Gohan was really hungry with Goku and they didn't have their fishing stuff, so Goku just kind of did it on a rock and spawned a sandwich for them. And of course, Master Roshi saw it, and etc. And Raditz also saw it too. So Goku would then eat Android 16, actually taking his power. Goku would then begin laughing a little bit as he would begin powering up. he would basically absorb Android 16's power. Now, Goku's appearance would not change, by the way, though we know originally it can when he eats people, like how Evil Buu absorbed Fat Buu, etc. But Goku turned him into candy and ate him. But it did increase his power once again. Now that Android 16 was completely wiped out, he was not absorbed in the right way, he was basically killed. So Android 16 is gone. Now Cell would still be here, but he's from the future timeline, though he could still absorb the androids, or could he? Would it make sense for Cell to absorb them? I think yes, because again, Cell was made to absorb the androids, but since they're different, would it really make sense? I'm just going to throw it in there and say that he actually can't, because the androids are very different from their original counterparts. They could even fuse with each other, and Cell would not have a chance. If Cell does find the multiple androids, Android 17 and 18, they would easily overpower Cell like he's nothing. And even though Cell could use a solar flare technique, and he would then try to absorb the androids, they would then not allow it. Now, this is when the androids here would actually kill Cell, and Goku and them would have arrived seeing what was happening, but they would not interfere, as they don't know what Cell is. Trunks would have arrived by this point too, and he would interfere because Cell can absorb them. He then notices how much stronger the androids are, and they would actually obliterate Cell teaming up together, since Cell had no chance against these two androids. Goku would then explain everything to Trunks, and that the androids haven't caused any problems actually, they've been really peaceful. So the Cell arc would end a lot quicker. Now the main threat was the androids, but unfortunately Goku was so strong, it didn't really matter. But he did demonstrate that for the first time, he technically did steal someone's power for the first time. It was Android 16. So for the first time, Goku's had his taste of stealing some power. And Goku believes that it's wrong, but he didn't really have much of a choice, as he didn't really know how else to kind of kill him. Now, with both androids now free, they would then be peaceful actually. Android 17 would become a park ranger, being protecting animals and etc. And Android 18 would soon get with Krillin just like before. So the Cell arc would end and there'd be some massive changes. Goku never dies, but Goku would still go up to the Kai world and continue his training. Now, beings like Vegeta and Gohan, they do come along, as Goku wants to keep Gohan's training up. Beings like Raditz and Nappa also come up there too. Though the Supreme Kai doesn't really like it, he'll allow it temporarily because, again, if this will then make warriors strong enough to defend if Majin Buu comes, he won't mind it. But they do not have the right to hold the Z-Sword, as that's a power. Goku would then actually say that Gohan's actually more qualified than even he is. He kind of fits the sword game a little bit better than he does. Now, once when Gohan was a small boy, remember, over the next 2-3 years, Gohan's power level would quickly skyrocket, being stronger than he was way before, already having Super Saiyan. Now, all the Saiyans would, at this point, be able to turn Super Saiyan 2, alongside Goku as well. Gohan would actually have the Z-Sword, as Goku would then give it to him. Now, during the day of training, Goku would then summon some Ketchin, which is the most powerful metal in the universe, the strongest piece of object in the universe, the strongest ingredient in the universe, whatever you want to say. Gohan would then hit against the Z-Sword and then shatter it, shocking everybody, and this is when the Elder Kai would then appear. After meeting up with everybody, he would then see that Goku was a little bit different, being a Majin, but he'll kind of throw that to the side for now, but he would introduce himself that he can unlock their latent potential, all of them. He is questioning Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz. They have a lot of evil in their hearts, but Goku would then vouch for them three, saying that they've more than proven themselves, and they actually helped save the whole universe before. As Elder Kai would think about it, he will do it. He will unlock all of their potential to be prepared for whenever Majin Buu would then arrive. So everybody got their potential unlocked. Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz. 5 people all got their potential pushed to the max. Now, the one to actually get the most kick out of it was actually Goku and Gohan. Vegeta as well, since the potential is high, but Gohan basically got the biggest one, since he's had the most inner potential out of everybody. And Goku was, of course, right behind him, because Goku's already unlocked a lot of Buu's power already. Gohan had a ton of untapped power within him. So they are now preparing, as then Goku would then take them all back home after training, and they would continue training on their own for the next 4 to 5 years. Goku would still continue studying and training every now and again to go back to Orange Star High School. Goku would then enjoy life with his family. And then, 7 years later, they would then all prepare to go on a tournament. And that is it for this What If you guys. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think down below. If this video gets to over 300 likes, I shall continue on to the next part. But anyway, Thank you all so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Let's hit 20,000 subscribers, and I'll talk to you all later.